Okay, what kind of lines are these?
No.
They're parallel.
They're parallel lines. So, you guys remember how to label parallel lines?
Oh, yeah.
A is parallel to B. So, the new thing is if we draw a line across any line that crosses two other lines is called a transversal. To transverse something means to cross over. We could transverse the Atlantic Ocean, something like that. So the definition is any line that crosses two other lines at two different points is a transversal.
How do you label that?
There's no label. How many angles did I create when I drew the transversal?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
8. And notice that they're in groups of 4. There's 4 up there and there's 4 down there. Now, the lines don't have to be, actually let me come back here. What do you think we can say about like angle 1 and angle 5?
They're the same.
Right, they're congruent. So this only works if the lines are parallel. So if I had two lines like this, and then the transversal is like this, are these two angles the same?
No.
No, this one's a lot smaller. So anyway, yeah, this only works if lines are parallel. What they call these two angles, like 1 goes with 5, 2 goes with 6, 3 goes with 7, 4 with 8. Those angles are called corresponding angles. That's what they call them. Corresponding is a word that kind of means like matching. Like the US president corresponds to the prime minister in another country. The corresponding is like the matching part. Corresponding angles. So that thing you said that you thought they were congruent, that's called the corresponding angle postulate. Remember that postulate just means something we assume to be true because it seems kind of obvious. If the lines are parallel, angle 1 and angle 5 are going to be congruent because they're corresponding angles. Okay, well, what do we know about, so that's kind of the new thing, but we also know some stuff about the angles that are grouped together from last chapter, right? What do I know about like angle 1 and 4?
They're vertical.
Right, they're vertical angles,
So
so
they're equal.
they're the same. What do I know about angles 1 and 2?
They're
Make 180.
Yeah,
So they're supplementary.
they're supplementary. What's it called when they make a line together?
Supplementary angles.
That means they add up to 180. But what's it called when the two angles make a line? Linear pair. Linear pairs are supplementary. Okay, so let's see.
1 and 8 is also the same.
Okay, let's start with this. 3 is the same as what down here?
7.
7. 3 and 7 are the same. And what's 7 the same thing as besides 3?
6.
6. Okay, so that means 3 and 6 are the same. Transitive property, right? So we did a little tiny proof there without writing it down. That 3 and 6 are going to be the same. They call these two angles alternate interior angles. And we kind of just talked about why they have to be congruent, right? Why do you think they're called alternate? Alternate means like the other, kind of like the other. So it's it's on the other side of the transversal. And why is it called interior? Because it's in between the parallel lines. It's inside the parallel lines. So alternate interior angles are congruent. Now that would be a theorem. Why would this one be a theorem instead of a postulate? Because we proved it's true using corresponding angles and vertical angles. So we proved it is true using other things. So what would angle 4 have to be the same thing as?
Angle 5.
Angle 5. Those are also alternate interior angles. Okay, I drew too many circles. Let's get those out of there. How about, okay, let's go back to 1. What 1 is the same thing as what?
5.
5, and 5 is the same thing as
8.
8. So 1 is the same thing as 8. Guess what they call those?
Alternative exterior angle.
Alternate exterior angles.
Boom.
That is correct. Good guess.
I wonder how I got that.
Did you see in the book?
No, I just know interior and exterior.
So that's also a theorem. They have to be congruent. So 1 and 8 would be the same. 2 and 7 would be the same. Okay, there's one more. So let's see. What do we know? What do we know about 1 and 3? They add up to 1. They're supplementary. So if 1 is the same thing as 5, then 5 and 3 have to add up to 180. Right? So that's kind of a little proof that I said. So they call these two, some books call them, well here, I'll just tell you what this book calls it. This book calls it consecutive interior angles. So consecutive just means like in a row, and interior because they're between these two. Some books call them same side interior because they're on the same side of the transversal, but this book calls it consecutive interior. These two are. So, but instead of, like these are all congruent, 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 but this one is supplementary. Okay, and it's another theorem. Consecutive interior angles. Supplementary. Okay, these three are all theorems. The first one was postulate. Okay, so let me try another picture with this. Let's say that third thing. Let's say this angle looks about 60 degrees, so this would be like 120. Okay, so what would this angle have to, okay, what would this angle have to be? 120. What would this angle have to be? 60. 60. How about this one? 60, because these two are, yeah, and they're called what? No? Corresponding. The matching ones are called corresponding. So 60 and 60, so this is 60, so this is 120. Okay, you guys see how it goes? Like they're all congruent or supplementary to each other. Does that make sense? So there's like two options for the angles. If the lines are parallel. If their lines aren't parallel, none of this works at all. You have no idea. Like if this is the picture, I can't say anything about anything. And you can't assume lines are parallel unless they tell you. Sometimes they tell you lines are parallel by drawing like red arrows on the lines. That means they're parallel. All right. I feel like I forgot maybe one thing, but maybe not. Maybe I got it all. Okay, let's jump in on number 1. Okay, it says, determine whether each statement is true, false, or cannot be determined. Number 1 says line AC, do you guys see line AC? Is a transversal for line EB and CD. Is that true? Does line AC transverse those two lines, EB and CD? Yes, it does. So 1 is true. Number 3, line AB is a transversal of, okay, you guys see line AB? Is it transversing line AC and CB? Yes, it crosses over those two. those two lines aren't parallel, but they don't have to be parallel. Still has a transversal. Okay, number 5. Do you guys remember what that symbol meant on number 5? What's that symbol mean?
Oh, it's like the opposite of parallel. What's the opposite of parallel?
Intersect.
Okay, it's called perpendicular.
Yeah.
And what do we know about perpendicular lines?
That they're not parallel.
That they cross at 90 degrees.
That's what I meant.
Okay, so perpendicular lines intersect at a 90-degree angle. Can we tell by looking at the picture that AC and CD are perpendicular? No, you cannot assume, even though it looks like they are, you cannot assume they are.
So cannot be determined.
So it cannot be determined.
But if it had that little like red box.
Yeah, if it has the red box, or maybe it says it on the problem somewhere, you know the one next to it is. And you also can't assume those two lines that look parallel might be parallel, because who knows, they might be a little bit off. Okay, number 7, do you guys remember what ECD meant?
It's like C is in between E and D.
Right, is C between E and D?
No.
No, it's, and when they say between, they mean on the line in between, that's what they mean. So 7 is just straight up false. Okay, number 9. I'm gonna draw this picture. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A little something like this. Now, do we know these two lines are parallel for number 9? Yeah, because they put little red arrows over there. We do know. Okay, so it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Number 9 says angle 4 is 40, find angle 5. Alright, if this is 40 degrees right here, what's angle 5 going to have to be?
Whatever adds up, so 180.
40 degrees.
Okay, yeah. What were angle 4 and 5 called?
Alternate interior.
Alternate interior angles, yeah, and they are the same. So notice how all these angles are either acute or obtuse, right? Remember on that problem we did 5 minutes ago, like all the angles came out the same or supplementary. So all the acute angles are the same and all the obtuse angles are the same. So that's the pattern. So you can tell, even if you forget alternate interior angles are congruent, you can tell they're both acute, so they have to be the full 40. Okay, anyway, yeah, 40 degrees. Number 11. Angle 8 is 46 degrees. Find angle 1. Okay, these two. Are they the same? Are they supplementary?
They're the same.
They're the same. What were they called?
Corresponding.
Alternate
Exterior.
exterior. What would corresponding be?
They're like 1 and 7.
That would be
Or
like
5.
1 and 5, yeah. So yeah, they're the same. So they're both 46. Okay, 13. Angle 3 is 135. This one. Find angle 5. Okay, what do we know about angle 3 and angle 5?
That's what I bet 20.
They're supplementary. They're called consecutive interior. So if you do 180 minus 135, you get 45. Okay, 15. Angle 8 is 6x plus 12. Find angle 4. So what do we know about angle 8 and angle 4?
They're corresponding.
So they are
The
the
same.
same. So if 8 is that stuff, angle 4 is that stuff. So it's 6x plus 12. Last, number 17, I saved the best for last. If angle 5 is 3x plus 9, I think this one was find angle 4, was it?
I don't think it was pretty.
Angle 3? Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. So, what do I know about these two angles?
That they both add up to one, or yeah, add up together and they would add up to one.
They add up to 180. So if this is this, how do I find that one?
You just get the answer to that, and then you subtract it by 180.
Okay, we don't know the answer to this though. But yeah, we do 180 minus that equals that, right?
Yeah.
So let's take a look at that. It's 180 minus 3x plus 9. We can't really solve this, we just simplify it, right? Can we simplify this a little bit? You gotta subtract those. So you do 180 minus 9
171.
and minus 3x. So that's the simplified version.
So that's in.
That's as much as we can do. Loving that algebra? Okay, number 19, a similar picture. Another one. This time they changed the numbers. Okay, I don't think I'm going to draw it this time. Number 19 is talking about angle 5 and angle 7. What kind of angles are angle 5 and angle 7 in that picture? Corresponding, and so they should be equal. So how should we set up number 19 then?
3x plus 9 equals 4x minus 3.
Okay, if you did not do well on the test, a good chance that the algebra part is part of the problem.
Facts. Yeah.
Okay. Robin. What do we do at this point?
Oh gosh. Okay, subtract 3x.
Okay, some people, I don't know if it was Roman, I don't think it was Roman, but some people put like minus 3x there and then maybe a minus 3x there. What's wrong with this?
You can't do that. You have to.
Okay.
Put it minus 4x.
You put it, yeah, on both sides of the equals. You don't mix it with the normal numbers. You put x's with x's. Alright, anyways. So that goes away. We get 9 equals
1x
x minus 3
plus 3.
plus 3. So I think that's the A question. X is 12. The B question was, what's the measurement of angle 5? So how do we find angle 5?
You just plug it in.
This thing, yeah, this thing right here is what they said angle 5 was equal to. I think it was this one, yeah. So if we know x is 12, we just need to plug in 12 right there. So 3 times 12 is 36, plus 9 is
45.
45. 45. Okay. C says angle 8. Now they didn't say angle 8 equals, but how are angle 5 and angle 8 related?
There's something
Yeah. Well, we know angle 5 and 7 are the same, right? So 7 has to be 45 also. If 7 is 45, 8 is 180 minus 45, which is 135.
35.
Okay, I'm not gonna do 20, but what do we know about angle 2 and angle 3 on number 20?
That they,
They're supplementary.
Yeah.
So they're not equal to each other. It's not the same as 19. It's they add up to, together they should add up 20. Oh, that's, somebody did that on a test wrong. So, I guess I will do the first step. I won't go the whole way. It's 2x plus 8. 6x plus 4. It might have been the other class too. I don't really remember who did what. But they add up to 180. Okay, maybe a couple people did this on the test. They did like minus 2x, minus 2x. What's wrong with that?
you have to add them together. Because
Okay, because they're on the same side.
yeah.
Okay, you can't just subtract 4x, is basically what I did, from one side and not do it to the other side. It's
Yeah,
gonna give you,
I learned that the hard way.
it's gonna give you the wrong answer. Were you one of the people that did that?
Probably.
I don't remember, but 2x plus 6x goes together. And plus 8 and plus 4 goes together. And then you're good. Alright, now on to the next. 21. Okay, it says angle 4 and angle 5. So what do we know about angle 4 and angle 5 from the picture?
Angle 4.
Angle 4 and angle
They are the same.
Yeah, they're alternate exterior angles, and you see how they look the same? They are the same. So it's just like number 19, those two angles are equal to each other, so it's that equals the other. It's 2, 6x minus 11. Jaden, you know what we're gonna do first on this one?
Literally. So we always like do like 5 times 4 and like the x, and then you do the exact same thing with the others.
Correct. Whoops. 5 times 4, 5 times x. 2 times 6, 2 times 11.
Yeah. You want me to finish it?
Sure, you got it.
Okay. And then we would do like minus 12.
Okay, minus 12x.
Yeah.
Okay, that is going to be minus 7x right there.
And then we do the like minus 20.
Yep, good.
And then I do
Okay, I believe that was the A answer. All right, the B question was find the measurement of angle 4. So this is what they said right here, angle 4 was. So if I plug in my answer for x right there, 6 plus 4 is 10, times 5 is 50 degrees. So Charlie Brown here. All right, anyway, so on C it says find angle 1. So how are angles 4 and 1 related? Are they the same or
Well,
something?
because 4 is equal to 2, which means you just do 50 minus, or 180 minus 50.
Right. 2 and 1 are supplementary, so yeah, they have to have 20. So 180 minus 50.
130. Yes.
All right, and I'm helping with 22 also.
Yay!
Okay, let me sum up quickly what they're saying to do on 22. It's saying we're supposed to prove that consecutive interior angles are supplementary.
22 is all of
Yeah, 22 is all that, but it's fill in the blank. We're supposed to prove that same side interior is supplementary using that proof they wrote below. Basically, the given is kind of what's in the picture, and what's in the picture. By the way, I almost said something about the test. Did I accidentally say something about the test earlier?
Yep.
No, I just said algebra.
Oh yeah, you can't say it because.
Emily, yeah, you start paying attention all of a sudden. What was I talking about? Angle, no. Oh, what can we tell from just looking at the picture?
Don't say it with me. Well.
A and B are parallel.
Yeah. So that'll be our given. So it's A parallel to B. And they also put comma T as a transversal. And the reason is given.
Do I have to put T as a transversal?
Sure. I get joy from the suffering of my students.
Whoa, you're like
No, it's like you
fight.
want me to take your final or something.
Remember when you were like that?
I'd be sad if you weren't there.
I wouldn't.
Okay, line 2. So on line 2 they say angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. How did they, looking at the picture, how did they know that was true?
Definition of corresponding angles?
Well, it's not a definition. Do you guys remember what it was?
Postulate.
It's postulate. So if you just said corresponding angles are congruent, that would be fine. Which that's basically what the corresponding angle postulate is. So if you don't remember whether it's a postulate or a theorem, you can just say the rule. Corresponding angles are congruent. But I'm just going to put corresponding angle postulate. Here, I'll spell it out.
Can we do the S?
Post. I don't care that much.
Jaden?
Okay. This next line, if it were me, I would have skipped it if I was doing it myself. But they say, using line 2, by the definition of congruent angles, what do we know?
Angle 3 is congruent to angle 1.
No, that's what we just said.
I was just flipping it.
That would be called the symmetric property. It's, what they put is that the measurements are equal. The angles are congruent, their measurements are equal. So these are, on line 2, these are things, these are numbers, like degrees. That's the difference. Okay, I probably, if I was, like I said, if I was doing this proof by myself, I would probably just skip that line, because it's kind of obvious. Number 4 said angles 1 and 2 are supplementary. How did they know that? Looking at the picture, how they knew 1 and 2 are supplementary.
Definition of
No.
supplementary.
You can only use the definition if they tell you they're supplementary. They didn't. That's what it means, but how do we know they're
They're
supplementary?
linear pairs.
Yes, good. Okay, because if they make a line together, they're always supplementary, right? That's called the linear pair theorem. Or if you don't remember whether it's a theorem, just say linear pairs are supplementary. That would work too. Actually, that's what they wrote. The book wrote linear pairs are supplementary. They did not put the linear pair theorem. Okay. So, are you guys good and caught up?
Sure, yeah.
Line 4 said angle 1 and 2 are supplementary. Therefore, line 5, by the definition of supplementary, what? they add up to 180, right? So that's what we're gonna say next. Measurement of angle 1 plus, oops, what was the other angle? 2.
I don't really like this. I like the first line, or the second straight, the first reason.
I don't like any of this.
Okay. Guys, peek up here for a second. If you look at this, you can kind of see where they're headed with it. 1 is equal to 3. 1 plus 2 is 180. So if 1 and 3 are the same, what can we do to this?
That 1 or the 1 is equal to 3, or like 3 plus 2 is 180.
Right. Angle 3 plus angle 2 would have to be 180. Did they write that, or did I just write that? I just wrote it. Oh, they wrote that. Okay.
Just writing the thing.
Well, what trick did we just use, though?
Sensitivity.
Okay. Transitivity, or what was the other one?
Sublimation.
Substitution.
Substitution.
Do you guys notice I'm kind of leaving blanks where they had stuff filled in?
Yeah.
It just takes too long to write the whole thing. Well, that one they had filled in, but I didn't realize that one I wrote it. Done. Emily, you look very Barbie today. You own a lot of fun stuff.
Have you seen the Barbie movie? Amazing.
Is it?
The Barbie movie.
Right, yeah. Okay, so if those two angles add up to 180, then what can I say about them?
Then 2 and 3 are supplementary.
Did the book say that? Is that how you know it? No?
Well, no.
Oh, gosh.
But that's what we're proving, so isn't the last thing that always went proving?
Yeah, but it's also kind of based on this statement right here.
Yeah.
It should all look together. How did we know that? Did the book say this part? No, they didn't.
No.
How did we know that?
Supplementary. Sub is a toe shop.
We know it's supplementary because they add up to 180, so we know it because that's what supplementary means.
Definition of supplementary.
Definition of supplementary. You girls are done just in time to miss the assignment.
Perfect.
You missed a good one.